Hello, hobby friends, and welcome to today's episode of Hobby Talk. My name is David Baez, and in today's episode, we are going to talk to Ryan Timmer as he shares with us some of his amazing autograph collection. Ryan, welcome back to Hobby Talks. Always good to talk to you. What's going on?
Hey, David, great to be back again. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure. So I know we talked a little offline that you had an amazing autograph collection. I am super excited to check this out. Before we check it out, I'd love for you to share with us your beginnings in the world of autographs. When did you begin collecting, and what was your first auto?
Yeah, that's a high build. So I'm not sure the collection's amazing, but we'll take a look at some cards, see what everyone thinks.
Sounds good.
The genesis really came from modern cards, where if you want a rookie card today, it comes already signed in a pack and sometimes numbered to 100 or 200. So I went back and found all of the rookie cards that I liked from my youth of collecting. My first year of collecting was probably 1983 when I got a full set. I started collecting back from 1978 through 1989 pretty extensively. And that's where most of my collection sits. And I'm probably a 60% basketball, 40% baseball collector. So I have a combination of baseball and basketball autographs.
Great. Can't wait to see some of those. What would you say is your first official auto? Love to see
My
that.
first one, a lot of folks think of getting signed cards, but as you know, I'm also an unopened collector. So my first in-person autograph was signed by Cal Ripken, and I got to
Wow.
sign the outside of a cello pack with him showing on top. And then PSA DNA is kind enough to authenticate the signature, and then you also get the 9 grade in the pack from PSA's normal graded pack encapsulation.
That's fantastic. I wasn't aware that they would do the external PSA DNA designation like that on a slab. That's the first I see of that.
You think turnaround times are long with today's. It has to go through 2 separate services.
That's
Uh,
right.
so it was a little bit faster back in the day when I sent this in. Probably I met Cal in, I'll say 2009 or 10. And then another one I got done fairly shortly after that is a Paul Molitor. And again, it goes through the same process. They'll PSA DNA authenticate the signature, and then they send it off to get the pack slabbed.
That's fantastic. I actually like that better because I'm not a fan of the potential damage that could ensue on trying to write on the packaging itself. Maybe I'm just being a worrywart, right? But I just feel like there's a potential, especially with a cello, right, that there might be some damage if they try to do a signature directly on the packaging itself. Have you ever
Oh,
made an attempt at that or no?
the signature is on the cello.
Oh, that is on the cello.
So I had one fairly early on that I had signed on a slab with Gary Carter on top of his 75. And I had
Okay.
that signed on the holder because I had the pack already holdered, and then I was going to meet Gary Carter. So I got it signed on the outside, and I much prefer getting it signed on the cello. You have to be very particular with the marker that you use, though. You can't use a regular Sharpie on a cello pack. So you have to use a little bit more special permanent marker. And
Yeah.
they're signed on the cello. And when it's encapsulated, I don't have to worry about, the signature smudging or rubbing off on the outside.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then again, again, you're taking the right precautions because I imagine, if using the wrong marker can make or break that unopened pack, especially a sensitive cello. I
Yeah.
could see some, yeah. So that's great. That looks fantastic. So how many total autos would you say you have in your collection, Ryan?
It's a great question. I've never counted. It's over 10. I stopped counting when I hit 10. It's kind of like the number of Pearl Jam and Dave Matthews shows I've been to. When I hit a certain number, I've been to a lot, and I stopped counting.
Okay. Well, I imagine you have quite a few, but yeah. So let's talk then about rarity. So what's your rarest auto right now in your collection, or you consider to be your rarest auto in the collection?
Yeah, there are some ones that are signed by players that don't have, a long life. So those are always rare in the auto. I think the one that I appreciate the most is, it's in a very alive player, but this one has so many attributions in his inscription. So you usually see him sign his name. He might sign Kareem, top 50. But it's very hard to get him, and especially the college inscriptions that are on this Lou Alcindor rookie is probably, the rarest of ones that I have seen.
That is fantastic. Love it. Very nice. So, what auto for you was the most, in your opinion, was the most difficult to obtain, and why?
So a lot of them I don't obtain myself. But one of the ones that I think was a very interesting story and hard to get is Bo Jackson was coming to town, and I happened to have a few 1986 traded sets. So I, crack out an 8 Tiffany, which is, always a harrowing experience when you crack out a card of, with decent value.
Yeah.
Then I had a 9. And, it's always when you crack those out, do you think you can get them back in the same grade? And then Bo Jackson in 1986 Topps Treated has this lovely kind of light sky blue for the Royals. So a lot of times when you have a Sharpie sign, it's in kind of a dark navy blue. So I actually had to find a very specific color blue marker. So that, added a little bit to the search and hunt of getting everything done. So anyway, I got them cracked out. I got them signed, and they came back authenticated. You can see this is the regular that came back. The other key in autographs is, besides the card grading, they grade the auto. And it doesn't take much to drop an auto grade from a 10 to a 9. So to be able to get a perfectly clear 10 auto on this was quite a win.
Yeah.
The Tiffany also came back in the same grade that I cracked it out as. So here's a Tiffany 810 combination card.
That's beautiful, by the way. And I love, the detail too to the autograph, nicely centered. It complements the card well. Certain autos kind of almost, take the image or the view of the card, in my opinion, and almost taint it a little bit. So it's like positioning of the auto to me personally is key, and that looks fantastic.
There's nothing worse than a black auto on a black jersey.
Yeah. Well said. Yes. That is a beautiful, both cards are very nice.
Getting, that one done. So there was a lot of behind the scenes and, work to get those 2 Bo Jacksons out. And I just have some regular ones from baseball. Maybe it's a good time to talk about some baseball ones if you want me to just roll.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see more. And tell us a little bit of history behind some of these cards you're going to show us.
Yeah, so we have PSA or BGS autograded. It goes through BAS for their authentication for the signatures, and then BGS for the grading. And, they also grade a card grade and an autograph grade on these. Here's an Eddie Murray rookie card. And again, I like the inscriptions that come across these. So this is a fairly inscripted Eddie Murray.
Very nice.
I try to get every major rookie in, the successive years. So there's your Ozzy. Moving into 1980. There we have Ricky. I love
that.
The autographs that Man of Steel, like Superman, but spells it STEAL.
I love it.
Ricky's a little bit of a funny guy.
Yeah. What does that say on the Ryan Sandberg? Oh, 80. It says 84, I believe, right?
Yes, 1984 NL MVP.
There you go.
So I also like to collect MVP signatures. The Kareem had, his MVP years and signatures on there, and you'll see some others that kind of have that MVP year done.
Yeah.
Again, 1983 was my first year of collecting. There's a nice Boggs.
Yeah, love it.
Quite a few wins. Let's skip ahead a little bit. A few years ago, I decided to amass a Roger Clemens collection, figuring that he would get into the Hall of Fame. I've been wrong 5 years in a row now. The voting closes shortly, and I think they announced it on January 21st. So if he makes it this year, I have high hopes again. But this is his 1984 Fleer update, and again, you see the auto and card grade in a nice 9 card.
I like his chances this year, Ryan. I'm rooting for you.
There's not a lot of first ballot meat on on the ballot this year. So we'll see if he has a shot. Here's another,
Yeah.
I like this one. Again, it's the Tiffany version of his Topps card. He signs at the Rocket. So, kind of throwing those two things in the mix makes it a
That's
little
a,
bit.
yeah, and that's a pretty and that's on a nice scarce card there. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was an authentic card grade. Here's again another Tiffany's with an 8 grade, 10 signature. This
You
is
know, while I'm sorry to interrupt, but while you're showing that, can you give a quick 101 if you don't mind, please, on what the key determining factors are on an auto 10? I imagine smudges are like the biggest like issue, right? Where it would get a 9 or lower, right, on the autos itself.
Yeah, so oftentimes an auto will kind of split. So here's a Kirby Puckett autograph card. I got this when I was a kid because I grew up in Minnesota. So while Kirby was playing, this is probably a 1986 or 80, probably 86 signed, might have been an 87 signed Puckett. And then you'll see on this one, the card is graded 7, but the autograph is graded authentic.
Okay.
See in the P, there's a split in the ink. So that ink has, it's not continuous throughout that. So
Okay.
a little bit of an issue with this autograph. But again, Kirby Puckett rookie card in the day autographs are so rare that this is, quite a gem in the collection.
Absolutely.
This is the home run king. We'll leave that controversy aside. He's also up for the Hall of Fame ballot this year. We've been collecting a lot of these probably over the last 5 to 7 years. On the registry, I happen to have the number 1 Topps 86 Topps traded Tiffany set. So it's a hard
Very nice.
Together in 10. I've been trying to put that together for about a decade now. I also put together the 84 Fleer Update set, which was easy to do and get 100% 10s. But that Tiffany traded set is it's a beast.
Yeah.
Here's a nice Conseco. And then here's the Tiffany. And in my collection, I also like to get the Donruss rated rookies. So I have, stacks and stacks of those. And occasionally I go deep into players, which we'll take a look at when we get maybe to the basketball side of things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Those are fantastic. So again, I appreciate you giving some insight to the auto world. I'm not quite well versed on it. I do have a few, but I was always curious on what some of those determining factors are. I assume things like smudges, which is common, especially for lefties.
Right.
Could be a factor in that. But now's a great time. Let's segue into the world of basketball. I know you said you had about 60% of your collection is was that what you said earlier, right? 60?
Yeah, at least 60,
Yeah.
No, it's not like a precise calculation, but about 60%.
Yeah.
Before that, I wanted to point out that today, because I mentioned last time that I do a little bit of collecting wine, we decided to feature the Bueller 2013 Cabernet today as our drink of choice while we're going through this. Very hard to get to Napa Valley Vineyard, but again, excellent quality for anyone looking for a wine recommendation along with the cards today.
Very nice. Love it.
So let's get basketball. So
yeah, let's do it.
I have a mostly 70s collection. Obviously, we started with the 69 Abdul-Jabbar. Rest in peace, recently Dave Cowens. But here's, again, it's just a nice, fresh signature in a great placement. And the 1971 Topps basketball cards with a nice, usually light background are perfect.
Yeah. Does that say all out intensity? Did I read that right?
Yes, all out intensity.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned, just like those inscriptions.
Yeah.
Here's the other major rookie card in 71. Nice little Rick Barry there, graded 8. This auto's 9. And again, if that ink isn't perfectly flowing throughout the entire signature, they'll knock a point or two off of the autograph, and they'll significantly start knocking it when it goes below that. Here's an old signed Dr. J. This was signed in pen, so you'll see the card is an 8, which is a fairly high graded card. There are no 10s yet. I don't believe in.
Right.
72, but here's a nice, again, early rookie auto in ink that has a 9 autograph because
Love that card.
that pen. It is one of my favorite cards. I do some investments, and I have a LinkedIn page also called Ryan's Cards that I published the other day that I thought the Dr. J rookie card in PSA 8 was going to double in price over the next 2 years. And lo and behold, I got a message from Lawrence Taylor on it. So there's some
Did you?
on my, yes, I couldn't, NFL Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor. So I couldn't believe, there's a lot of people that watch that. So by all means, check out my LinkedIn. I do a lot of videos on there as well.
Very cool.
And then here I mentioned the MVP. So this has his ABA MVP inscription on there with another nice Dr. J autograph. One of my favorite years, 1974. Have always thought this set is very underappreciated.
Agreed.
2 great rookies that year. We have George Gervin seen here in an 8 with a 10 auto, and Bill Walton also in an 8 with a 10 auto. Highly scarce cards to get in high grade.
The autos, to your point from earlier, look great on these basketball cards with the sharp contrast to the backgrounds and colors on these cards. It really pops.
Yeah, it is much different than a lot of modern day cards. Or even as you started getting through the 80s and 90s, they started going a lot darker. But these kind of early psychedelic 74 colors there.
Right.
Graded 9 Bill Walton rookie card. That's the highest card of that example. Here's another one of the highest. David Thompson Skywalker 76 has the larger format.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that and forgive my ignorance on basketball there, but is that the common issue for that year? Were they that big?
Yes. So
wow.
That is why you don't see any 1976 PSA graded basketball packs, because they are that large landscape size.
Right.
And you have a perfect platform for getting autographs within that. So it is one of the greatest autograph sets to chase just because of that. Again, nice large format.
The larger canvas.
And then as we get to the end of the 70s there, we now move into the 1980s. And I mentioned I collect rookie auto cards. Do you happen to know which year is Larry Bird's rookie year?
Of course. Yeah, the famous the 3-piece card.
Which year is that from?
That is the 1980.
Yeah, so 1980. So you'll clearly see here Larry Bird's 1981 rookie card. Because as you mentioned, it's that try, and as I look at it, it's a tough card to get good autographs in. It doesn't present as well.
Yeah.
So I have gotten a number of these 81s signed because it's a very dark card, so you have to have the right signature in it for it to pop.
Yeah.
An iconic young-looking Larry Bird card. So I collect a lot more of the 81s of Larry, of course, Magic, because it has their first full pictures in them.
Yeah, those look great. And to your point, I can't imagine any auto really looking good on those 80s cards because the auto would, even if they fit it on there, it's going to take pretty much the entire card to get that auto in place.
Well, and here's what they do. So they shortcut it. So here is a Magic,
Oh, yes.
And then this Magic is, make sure we do that the right way. So this Magic, you can see how short or abbreviated that is.
Yeah.
Rookie card.
It looks so much better on the 81.
And then in the 80s, there are so many Magic and Larry, or they appear on a few cards.
Yeah.
So the actual rookie card where it has Dr. J in the middle and Magic on the right side, missing Larry Bird, of course, for the holy grail of cards. But you can see, excellent grade on this. Excellent.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to get those. And then one day I caved in, and luckily it was a while ago, got the Larry.
Are all 3 autos?
All 3 autos. You can see that it's graded 8 as a card and then 9 as an auto.
Wow.
So this card is actually appreciated decently in 8 condition, and then to get all 3 autoed, and on the 2 of the 3 NBA top 50 on there. So
that's fantastic. Wow, that's fantastic, and well done on getting the autos placed on those cards as well. Whoever did that, I don't know if that was you or not, but
It's a lot harder. And then to close out 81,
Kevin McHale. All right.
we have Kevin McHale. Again, a nice 9-10 combo. Let's move into the 80s. So from 81 to basically 84, Topps didn't have a license until the 90s. So there was no cards for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
A company called Star came out and captured the rookie class.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here's a Clyde Drexler signed Star rookie.
Love it.
Star rookies are pretty hard to find. Isaiah Thomas. One of my favorite cards. Hakeem Olajuwon. Graded 8, auto 8, but signed it with the inscription Dream.
Love it.
Rare cards to find those, especially in nice condition. And then the set wouldn't be complete.
Sir Charles.
Rebound. And you can see next to his 86 Fleer card, it looks like the 84 Star card started the move where he goes up for the dunk, and then he finishes it on the 86 card. Two fun autos to have in comparison, but again, I love the 84 True Rookies. The Charles Barkley 86 card is an iconic card. So I mentioned I have a few player collections, so this stack is all Barkley signed.
Is that all Barkley's? Wow.
We have a few of those. We've gone deep into that collection. And then to close out the basketball set, I know you're a fan. Any other rookies in 1984 Star?
An 84 Star. Oh.
Think of any other major rookies.
I was going to say Dominique, but
Dominique actually 83, an excellent guess. And you may have heard of this player.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know MJ had a card. I'm so used to that iconic 86. That's amazing.
So, yeah. So, MJ had a 101 card in Star. It was a normal format size card. Looked like this, had a nice red border. It is the most boring picture I've ever seen. It's Michael getting a rebound and looking to throw an outlet pass. But in the Star Court King set, which also came out that same year, and some people actually say this was the first Jordan card ever released, it shows him dunking the basketball with a gold chain wearing Air Jordan 1s. So this is my favorite looking card. And then, of course, you could see the Michael Jordan autograph there.
That is great.
And these are, I'll put this in the category of very scarce.
Yeah.
One of these come up for sale every 3 years or so.
Yeah, that's a first for me. And I mean, not that I'm a guru in basketball, but I didn't know. And that's a fantastic looking card. I'm going to do some homework on that after this interview.
Yeah, no, my like I said, very underrated in the hobby out there. And it's in the 5x7 inch larger format.
Yeah.
So it looks perfect for autograph cards. I've actually ended up getting the entire Court King set, which is 50 cards of the best players from that era, all autographed. And believe me, that was a set that took a decade to track down the last one, which I finally did in 2020.
I was going to say that must have taken you a while. I'm not surprised that you said a decade.
It's only 50 autographs, but you know, the first 45 are easy. It's the last 5 that always get you.
Yeah, I was going to say trying to find like the backup player, right?
It's that Marquez Johnson.
Yeah.
Buxton actually had a decent career, but you know, he's just not on the circuit, and you know, didn't sign a lot. So that was that actually took me 10 years to find.
Wow. Great stuff, Ryan. Thanks for sharing your wonderful collection. Before we sign off, I do have a final question. Typically how I end my interview. So I do have a last question. Are you up for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. So tell me your funniest or best story or interaction with a professional player, and why was it?
Yeah, I'll say that, when I talked to Cal Ripken, he was the nicest, friendliest guy. And Cal and I actually look similar. And again, you kind of have to squint, to see if it's similar, but Cal was nice enough to stand up and take a picture next to me. And I actually feel like I tower over a Major League Baseball player a little bit. But he's just the nicest, friendliest guy. I'll always have very fond memories of getting Cal to sign that pack. And of course, Cal was intrigued because he'd never had anyone ask him to sign a pack before.
That's very cool. And I've actually heard, this is now my third very positive Cal story, just the interaction with him and just how great he is with fans in general during signings. So awesome to hear that.
Yeah, nicest guy ever.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you so much for sharing your great collection. Looking forward to talking to you again in the near future.
My pleasure. Thanks, David. Have a great holiday.
Thanks. You as well.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. Please click on the like and subscribe button. Just a couple quick updates. We are officially live on iTunes, Google, as well as Spotify for our podcast. Go to HobbyNetworkGroup.com for more details and links. Thanks for watching today's video and have a great day. Bye.